What is going on, traders? We got a lot to discuss. We got to talk about the SPY, triple Qs, a few stocks, Bitcoin, and then we're going to talk about the possibility of all-time highs. Before we start, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So in our last video, we were really spot on. I told you guys about the possibilities of heading towards 598, 600, and once we get there, that you should be very much cautious because bears are very much present in that area. And look what happened. We hit about 599, 600, give or take, and then we saw a sell-off back towards the downside at around 595, 594. And so the question is, are we going to see more downside from here, or are we going to see a bounce back towards the upside and leading us towards either previous highs or all-time highs? And so right now we are looking at the daily time frame. As you guys can see, we're still trading within this rising channel. And so we go down to the 4-hour time frame here, and we talked about this in the last video of the SPY forming a descending triangle. And right now we are breaking above the descending triangle. All right. So things are looking good for the bulls. Now, it's important not to get too excited just yet because we are still below a very key level. What is that key level? 598 and 600 are psych level. We talked about this level over and over again on this channel. 598 is your key level. You want to get above 598. Once you get above 598, you obviously want to get above that psych level of 600. After that, you're looking at a move towards 602. But once again, guys, bears are very much present in this area. You can see it clear as day. You don't need glasses to see that there is a lot of red in this area. Therefore, bears are very much present in this area. And the only way I do think we're going to break above this area is that we get some type of good news. And luckily enough, we do have news tomorrow and Wednesday. Wednesday probably being the most important, which is FOMC minutes. And so from here, I do think we're going to see more upside. I do think we're going to revisit 600s. Highest I'm looking at least for now, is about 602. Now, we do have a gap at around 592, so I wouldn't be surprised we at least do one of these moves, maybe form some type of bear trap here, fill this gap, and then we start heading back towards the upside. So that is a move that is on the table as well. Now, again, before we start jumping the gun, before we start making assumptions and assuming that we're going to head towards all-time highs, we still want to see those key levels be broken. Right now, 600 is in the way of the bulls. We want to get above 600 if you are looking to be bullish. If you're looking to be bearish, then you want to get below 592 and then 590. You get below those, you're looking at a move towards 585 all over again, and then we're pretty much playing the game of this descending triangle actually playing out if we do get there. Now, for me personally, gun to my head, if you just asked me, hey, or you told me, hey, you got to make a decision right now, where is the market going? I'm going to tell you that I do think we're going to head back towards at least 602. If anything, 602, at minimum 602. If we're being optimistic, if we're being greedy, previous highs. Okay. I do think that is the possible scenario or more likely scenario from this point on. And the reason why I'm saying that is not because of the SPY itself, it's more so of what the triple Qs is doing. Okay. The triple Qs is pretty much doing the same thing. Actually, it's not the triple Qs, it's the NASDAQ. We'll go over the NASDAQ after this. But the triple Qs is pretty much doing the same thing that the SPY is doing, right? We talked about this descending triangle on the community tab in the last video. And so far, we are breaking above that, and we closed and retested right above this descending triangle. And so once again, we could see a bear trap tomorrow morning. Maybe we, fill this gap at around 518 before seeing another leg up, and then we start heading towards 529. Now, we talked about 529 in multiple videos. If we get above 529, 530 psych level, we can definitely start heading towards previous highs, as high as about 538, 537, give or take, which is your key level right here. We get above this, then we can definitely start looking at moves towards 550s and even higher than that. And so right now, triple Qs and SPY do look good for the bulls. But again, we want confirmation. We want to wait for those levels to get broken. Again, I do think that it's going to happen. Okay. I genuinely think it's going to happen. But me, myself, have to be disciplined, have to wait for that confirmation. And so I encourage you to do the same. Overall, do what you want with this information. And so that leads me to talk about the NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ looks beautiful here. Okay, absolutely beautiful. So we're looking at the 4-hour time frame. You see it, I see it. We are looking at a falling wedge, and we are currently breaking out of it. Okay, we are breaking out of now. It's not a convincing break, I will say that much, but as long as we stay above 21,740 on the NQ, we can start heading towards 22K. Highest I'm looking at, well, actually, the measured move, the projected move for this falling wedge pattern is 23K. Now, I can't say for certain that's going to happen. That is a pretty big move, but what I can say is that 22,300 is the more likely scenario here. So if we manage to stay above 21,740, we can start looking at a move towards 22,000. After that, you're looking at if we get above 22,100, then you're looking at a move towards these guys right here. A lot of bears in this area. Okay, I want to make that clear. There's a lot of bears in this area, so you definitely want to be careful. Not only at 22,100, 22,000 psych level, but once if we do get above that, you definitely want to be careful. Right here where these bears are. I think this is where Jerome Powell spoke, and then everything just tanked. So definitely want to be careful here. But again, the measured move for this is 23K. Do I think that's going to happen? It's really tough to say. We want more confirmation, but the key focus here is 22K, 22,300. Now, if we break below this level, if we break below 21,740 and we hold, then we can start heading back towards around 21,500. So definitely pay attention to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ looks absolutely primal for the bulls. You definitely want to see this move play out, okay, if you're bullish. Okay, if you're bearish, you obviously don't want to see this play out. All right. So definitely pay attention to the NASDAQ for the night into the morning, whatever. If you want to stay up all night, do what you want. But yeah, NASDAQ looks primal right now for more upside. It looks absolutely beautiful here. ES. So ES kind of giving a mixed signal here. So this is why we want to wait for confirmation. You have a symmetrical triangle. So far, it's respecting the symmetrical triangle. And I put in a community tab, I believe that ES needs to get above 6,040. We have yet to do that. So yeah, ES is kind of giving us a different signal here. All right. So again, it's still the sentiment still remains the same. We want to see ES get above 6,040 and hold. Until that happens, not much to talk about here in regards to upside. Now, if we break above this symmetrical triangle, which is around 6,070, then we're looking at a projected move all the way towards 6,300, guys. All right, so we go to the daily time frame so you guys get a better idea on what we're trading within. Right, and right now we are trading within this rising channel still, just like we saw on the SPY, which is essentially the same thing, right? And so ES, looking a little, it's not looking bad, it's not looking good. We're kind of like just chilling within this symmetrical triangle. So if you want to see a breakout, 6,070 is what you want to see get broken. If you want to see, or if you want to have some type of optimism towards the upside, 6,040 is what you want to see get broken and held. So that's what I'm looking at for the ES. Bitcoin. All right. So Bitcoin, I told you guys, if Bitcoin gets above 100K, you're heading towards 102,700. Did we hit that target? We got pretty close. We hit about 102,500. So close enough, sue me. But yeah, 102,700. After this, I do think Bitcoin is heading towards 107K from this point on. I definitely think that's possible. I don't think, I mean, obviously you might see a dip on the way. I don't want you guys to be like, oh, it's just heading straight there. Then you very much can see a move like this where you retest 99,500, give or take, before heading back up there. But overall, Bitcoin looks great. The falling wedge is playing out. It broke above 100K. We can definitely start talking about some major levels to the upside. The measured move for this, once again, is 120K. I definitely think that's possible for the year of 2025. Highest I'm looking at is 130K. Can it head higher than that? Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised. But those are my targets for Bitcoin. Short term, looking at 105K. After that, I'm looking at about 107, 108K. So, yeah, we called this out in the last video. We've been calling this out for the past few videos. Once Bitcoin gets above 100K, you're heading towards 102K. So, congratulations if you traded anything in relation to Bitcoin or you're in Bitcoin itself, whatever the case may be. Congratulations to you. I do think Bitcoin is bullish from now on. I think it looks great. I see no signs of any type of bearish move. We'll see. We do have news, but yeah, Bitcoin looks absolutely primal here. In regards to triple Qs, I don't think I gave you guys a target for triple Qs. If triple Qs gets above 529, 530, give or take, you're heading towards 535 easy. Okay, simple as that. You're heading towards 535. Very illiquid up to that target. Let's actually get rid of this here. So right about here, these guys right here, you're gonna move straight to 535, no problem. Okay, I genuinely believe that bulls are. This is a very liquid area, and then you have bulls in the 535 area. So Yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. Next, we're going to talk about DIA, the Dow Jones. We haven't talked about this in like forever. I don't think I ever talked about this on this channel, simply because big tech pretty much runs the market. So talking about the Dow Jones just feels pointless sometimes. But bullish on the Dow Jones. It broke above our falling wedge pattern. Dow Jones looks absolutely beautiful here. In the Discord, we are in 430 calls for March 31st, I believe. Yeah, I think it's March 31st. We are in 430 calls, and then I gave the option of taking 435 calls as well. We got in at around 426.5. So far, Dow Jones after hours is around 427.26.40, somewhere around there. But looking really good. I do have a price target for the Dow Jones of 435. I definitely, obviously, if the Dow Jones is bullish, or if I'm bullish on the Dow Jones, then I think it's safe to say that the rest of the market is going to see more upside. Now, obviously, this play can fail. Just because I'm in a call or or a call on this play doesn't necessarily mean that the market has to go up and just follow my play, right? But looking really good, as you guys can see, we broke out of this falling wedge. We retested 425. Dow Jones looks great. Okay, Dow Jones looks great. So if you want to trade anything in relation to the Dow Jones, definitely check out the Dow Jones for yourself. Get confirmation. Make sure everything adds up. I think this thing is going to start heading back towards the upside. 435 is my target. Wouldn't be surprised it hits 440. I don't think that's too much to ask. So that's what I'm looking at for the Dow Jones. If you want access to our trades, just like this, Discord link is in the description below. So let's get into some stocks, right? We got to talk about some stocks here. First stock I want to talk about is Nvidia. We caught this. We caught this right on the money, guys. I mean, come on. You got to give me my flowers. You got to give me my flowers because that last video, I was spot on with everything. Everything we were spot on. So you got to give me my flowers, guys. I really hope I'm helping you guys here. I try my best to provide value on this channel. I don't just talk. I show you guys that I trade exactly what I say, whether it's to the downside or to the upside. I don't care where the market goes, guys. You can call me a perma bear, call me a perma bull. I don't care where the market goes. As long as we make money, that's what I care about. Okay. It's all about the bag for me. And so we look at the community tab here, been talking about Nvidia. I mean, I've been bullish on Nvidia for quite some time. Despite me being bearish on everything else, Nvidia was the only stock out of everything else that I was bullish on. So here, ideal move for Nvidia, watch for move to 158. A blessed move would be a retest of 145 first. So I'm really hoping that happens. I'm really hoping this happens. So we go down to the 2 hour time frame to get a better idea here. And so we have our inverse head and shoulders pattern. You got your shoulder here, head here, another shoulder here. And then you have your neckline here. You broke above the neckline. I mean, you absolutely decimated that thing. The neckline is irrelevant at this point. Well, I wouldn't say irrelevant because you do need to retest it. But if we can get a retest of this neckline at around 145, that would be beautiful. That would be a beautiful entry for me. You do what you want, but that would be a beautiful entry for me. I already told Discord members that I am looking at the 158 calls for February 21st. So if we can get that retest, I'm going to be looking at those calls. Feel free to check those contracts out for yourself. Whales are very much in those contracts. They are taking up those contracts. But it's important to note that whales do not care about entries. They just enter whenever. Because why? They hedge. They hedge a lot. They hedge all their positions majority of the time. So they don't care if they enter at 158 and Nvidia drops to 150. They're just going to wait it out. Why? Because they're probably hedging in a whole different stock or hedging puts somewhere else. So it doesn't necessarily matter. And so yeah, so I want to wait for this entry at around 145. I'm hoping that's going to happen. It's not looking like that's going to happen, but I'm really hoping that is the case. Maybe we get some type of bear trap. Maybe we see that gap fill at around on the SPY at around 592, and we see that gap fill on the triple Qs at around 518, and maybe that motivates Nvidia to head towards 145, retest this neckline, and then we start heading towards the 160s. But so far, we've been pretty much on the money. I told you guys if we get above 145, you're heading towards 150. Still be cautious in this area because bears are very much present in this area with 150 and above. But I see no reason to really be scared right now. I guess for lack of better wording, the word is scared. I see no reason to be, fearful or anything like that, considering everything else. Everything else looks absolutely bullish right now. um, do what you want with that. But right now, really like Nvidia for more upside. I would just really hope for a retest of this neckline so we can get it some 158 calls, 155 calls, maybe somewhere around there. 158 calls for February 21st. So definitely be on the lookout for this. Maybe I won't be able to trade it, but hopefully you see an opportunity to trade it yourself. And so that's what I got for Nvidia. Tesla. We got to talk about Tesla. Tesla So in the community tab, talked about Tesla, right? So we scroll up, and so I said, could Tesla be loading up for a move to 450? You got this inverse head and shoulders pattern here, shoulder here, head here, another shoulder here, and then we scroll up. Tesla had a nice bounce. I mean, a nice bounce off 403. Key levels for Tesla 410, 412. You managed to get above those and hold, start packing for 430s so far, right on the money with the bounce. Neckline is around 426 range. And so yeah. Right now in the Discord, we are in calls on Tesla. We got in at around the low 400s, around 403. So far looking really, really good. Now this is a lottery play, guys. I want to make that clear. This is a lotto play. We did this off a complete lottery. Okay, so this is not a legitimate play or anything like that. I gave the option to take profit before close, so maybe all my Discord members took profit before close, and I'm the only idiot sitting in this. But right now, Tesla looks absolutely great. I do think you have a bullish engulfing candle right here. You closed above 410. I think after hours you're above 412, but that doesn't matter. Let's take that with a grain of salt. But bullish engulfing candle, you're above 410. You closed above 410. Tesla looks great here. Your neckline is around 426. We'll say 427 to be safe. Want to see a move like this. Well, obviously we got to get there first, right? But we get there, we break, retest, start heading towards the 450s, 460s on Tesla. So Tesla looks amazing right now. As far as downside goes, to pretty much invalidate this, you want to see Tesla get back below. I would say 398. You get below 398, then that's where things get pretty. I wouldn't say pretty bad, honestly. It's not really too illiquid to the downside. I guess you'll see a move towards 395. Then after that, you're looking at a move. Wait, where are we? Here we go. Yeah, so 395. After that, you're looking at a move towards about 387, give or take. And then from there, 385 your psych level. So it's nothing. It's not too bad to the downside. I will say that much, but to the upside, Tesla looks really good right now. So definitely be on the lookout for this move on Tesla. I'll try to post more in the community tabs. Make sure you turn notifications on so you can get access to that information. It's completely free, by the way. I post my charts, my ideas, all that stuff in the community chat tab as much as I can, of course. But obviously, Discord gets information before everybody else. So that's what I'm looking at for Tesla. Tesla looks great right now. Got nothing bad to say about it. So let's look at the semiconductor ETFs. So yeah, we talked about this. I told you guys in the last video, I don't think this is a false breakout. We saw SMH have false breakouts before, right? False breakout here, false breakout here, false breakout here, false breakout here. And then I told you guys in the last video that I don't think it's going to be a false breakout this time. I think we're going to head towards 262. Look at that. Clean, super clean. You respected you respected this level like it was nothing. SMH absolutely respected this level. You do have a reversal hammer pattern here. So that might be a good sign. This could be a good sign right here. You could see that retest on Nvidia towards 245 um and then see that move, not 245, 145, and then you see a move higher. It's important to note that you do have a gap fill at around the 270s on SMH, and then obviously you want to see 264, 265 cycle level get broken to start filling this gap at around 270s. Do I think that's going to happen? I do. I do think SMH is going to head towards 275, 280, give or take, somewhere around there. But right now we did close on somewhat of a reversal pattern, so I would be on the lookout for a potential gap fill between tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll see, or we just ignore this thing and just continue to head higher because no pattern is guaranteed. But very tough area here. Bears are very much present in this area. You see it here, right here, strong, just a lot of bears, right here. Very liquid to the downside, a lot of bears. So it makes sense that we kind of closed on a reversal pattern here. So we might see some downside come tomorrow morning. We do have news in the morning. So SMH still looks good regardless for the long term. I would look at about 275 calls for February 21st. I would look at those. Whales are very much in that contract. So that is something to look at. Next, SOXX. You got another reversal pattern here. I think SOSX has SOSX has a lot of room to the upside. I mean, a lot more room to the upside here. So I would not be surprised. SOXX heads towards the 240s. I do think that's going to be the case. So again, if SOXX blesses you with this move here, that's that's money. That's money right there, guys. So definitely want to look out for that. Don't marry the idea that we're going to continue to the upside from here. Look for some type of retest. Do not FOMO in. Do what you want at the end of the day, but I wouldn't FOMO in. Okay. Just like with Nvidia, we're not even in Nvidia calls anymore. We took our profit. I told you guys in the last video that we were in Nvidia calls. We were in 145 calls on Nvidia, and we took profit on that. All right. So we're still waiting. Okay. Me personally, I'm still waiting. I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to FOMO in. If we miss the move on Nvidia, so be it. But if Nvidia has just so happened to retest 145, I'm definitely going to be looking at those 158 calls for February 21st on Nvidia. And so, in regards to the Discord today, a new member, I think he just recently joined. He made $1,800 today with us. Yeah, so shout out to this guy. Just from today, profits realized. Yeah, so really, really nice work. And then, we were joking around, making little funny jokes and here and there. And then I gave this guy, one of our members, a range on a SPY. I gave him a range of 600 to 592. He traded within that range, made a nice $700. SPX, this was all him right here. SPX, $290. So congratulations to him as well. So yeah, we're doing really good. We're growing in the Discord. It's not a massive Discord or anything like that. We're growing just like the YouTube channel is growing. So I really appreciate the support. But check it out. Link is in the description below. Nice little communities, nothing too crazy just yet. Hopefully we can grow bigger in the future. I just have to figure out a way to manage all that because man, just these people alone put me to work. So but overall I enjoy what I do. Okay, so just want to make that clear. So SOX, that's what I'm looking for on SOXX. Hopefully a retest towards that gap fill at around 222 before we start seeing the next leg up towards the 240s. And that will probably lead Nvidia to retest 145, and then we start heading towards that 160 area on Nvidia. So that's what I'm hoping for. Okay. And let's see, what else can I talk about? What else can I talk about? Somebody asked about Meta here. So Meta looks insane here. Meta is just breaking all laws of gravity right now. So, what I will say in regards to Meta, if it gets above 635, I would say 635, you're heading towards the 650s, 660s is the highest. Once you get up here, I would definitely be careful because that is the top of this rising wedge. It's also important to note here. It's very interesting. A lot of you in my comments, I wouldn't say a lot of you, but maybe two, three of you, maybe one of you have said in the comments that what if we are pricing in Trump's inauguration? I think that's a very interesting concept, an interesting idea. I'm not against it. Okay, I'm not against it because we originally started pumping off of Trump being voted in, right? So it does make sense that we could be in a buy the rumor, sell the news type of deal where it's not really a rumor. I mean, Trump has pretty much got it, but regardless, this could be a sell the news type of deal where Trump gets inaugurated and then we start selling off. So very interesting concept. This is why I always want you guys to comment your ideas because sometimes I may be right or sometimes I haven't thought of something. I'm not a perfect trader. There's no such thing as a perfect trader unless you're like Nancy Pelosi or something. But regardless, yeah. So I really like you guys' idea. I never even thought of that. So that is a good thing to keep in mind that we could be pricing in Trump's inauguration. So not saying that's a guarantee or anything, but it's just something to keep in the back of your mind and very much possible, right? And so, yeah, Meta, in regards to Meta, I'm kind of like rambling here, but yeah, you want to be careful at the top of this rising wedge, mark it on your charts. Um, Someone said stop paying attention to diagonal lines, and that's insane to say, considering that stocks respect diagonal lines. There's more than one form of support and resistance, guys. It's not just horizontal lines. You got, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, support here, support here. Fair value gaps act as support and resistance. Gaps act as support and resistance. Supply and demand zones act as support and resistance. So there's multiple support and resistance. It's not just horizontal lines. I want to make that clear. And that is how I determined that SMH was ready to break out. And this was not a false breakout. Why? Diagonal lines. All right. So just a little rant there. But overall, hopefully you guys got something out of this. I'm kind of just yapping at this point. If you guys got something out of this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know as well. Maybe I missed something. Just keep it respectful as always. It is okay to have a different opinion and be respectful with that opinion. All right. Otherwise, that's all I got. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. I'm just repeating myself. Until the next video, traders, have a good one.